What is going on, everybody? What's going on? Hope everybody's having a great Monday as the Mariners are busting the Blue Jays' ass right now. But anyway, we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about Yankees offseason, right? The big talk, Cody Bellinger opted out of his contract, which was expected, to be honest. Like, if you didn't think that was going to happen, I don't know what to tell you. Um, but it raises a big question because you got the big free agent out there, probably like undoubtedly the biggest free agent, Kyle Tucker, right? Who's gonna command a lot of money. And it's a debate between the fans, right? Half the fan base, I say, wants Cody Bellinger back. The other half wants Kyle Tucker back. I mean, Kyle Tucker to be a Yankee, and um, and then a lot of us want both, right? Um, it's kind of far fetched to get both of them, especially two lefties. The Yankees are already ready, um, lefty heavy. We're lefty heavy right now. So we got to balance out the lineup a little bit. So I think personally the Yankees should at least attempt to get one of them. If they were to get both, then we would have to find some righties somewhere in the lineup elsewhere. But yeah, so it leaves the question, man. I've been thinking about it a lot. Obviously, to me personally, I feel like Kyle Tucker is the more highly sought after player. But when you look at the numbers, right, there's really not that much that separates them in terms of their numbers. And I'll pull that up here in a second. All right, so we'll look at the career numbers first, right? So Cody Bellinger and Kyle Tucker, career wise, right? Their B WAR, according to Baseball Reference, 30.4 for Bellinger, 27.3 for Tucker. I'm not gonna go through all the stats because it's just too much, but OPS, Belly's is A17, Kyle Tucker's A65. Um, Batting average is pretty close. So home run, same thing. Obviously, Cody Bellinger has a few more years on Kyle Tucker in terms of his career, but in terms of age, they're pretty much the same age. Cody Bellinger's about a year and a half, 2 years older than Kyle Tucker, which is not much really. Kyle Tucker will be 29 in January, I believe. RBIs close. I mean, when you look at the on base percentage, OPS plus, and their B WAR is really, really close. Really close. Some might argue in some of these stats, you might argue Cody Bellinger's better. Some of them you might argue Kyle Tucker's better. It kind of all depends on your preference. This is the 2025 stats between the two. Cody Bellinger had half a point more WAR than Kyle Tucker, but look, you got to take this with a grain of salt because Kyle Tucker was playing in Wrigley Field, which is notoriously tough on left-handed batters. Cody Bellinger, when he was with the Cubs, he struggled over there as well. So any lefty that goes to play for the Cubs, they're going to see a dip in their slugging and in their numbers period overall. But looking at the two, same thing. Kyle Tucker, obviously Cody Bellinger has the better numbers, but he played in a lefty friendly ballpark as while Kyle Tucker didn't. Batting average is really close. On base percentage, same things, really close. OPS, Kyle Tucker has him there. OPS plus, Kyle Tucker has him. And stolen bases too. Kyle Tucker has a lot more stolen bases, almost double. So that's 2025. Now let's look at their postseason stat because this is what really, really intrigued me right here. Because I felt like I just felt like Kyle Tucker was like better than him in a lot of these numbers when they really like just really close for the price difference that you're gonna pay for these two that you might have to pay between Kyle Tucker and Cody Bellinger. It really is it worth it really? These are their career postseason numbers. I'll leave that up here. Look, Bellinger played 76 postseason games, Kyle Tucker 72. Obviously, most of those with the Houston Astros. Um, Roughly the same amount of plate appearances, the same amount of hits, 57 hits each, 10 home runs for Belly, 9 for Kyle Tucker. Um, stolen bases. If you look at it, the batting averages is not good. Look, the numbers are not great in terms of batting average, on base percentage, OPS. and I got grounded into double plays because those are freaking postseason rally killers. And I just felt like Cody Bellinger and Kyle Tucker was better than this. But really, when you look at their postseason numbers, if you're going off of that, and me, my mind is still, I'm still, my mind is still in the postseason we just lost, right? I still can't believe that nobody came to hit, nobody showed up a judge. So I was looking at the postseason numbers because we need somebody who's going to show up, and both of these guys don't look like guys that show up. I mean, I'll be just really honest with you guys. If you look at this, I'll pull it up again. Postseason stats. Um, None of them really have numbers that really pop out at you, right? Neither one of these guys. And really, that's not what we need. But they're both great players, right? So now you got to wonder, right? You got to think to yourself, what advantages does one have above the other? Like Cody Bellinger, obviously, he plays multiple positions well too. I'm gonna get to the chat too in a second. Give me a second. Um, Cody Bellinger, he plays first base, plays left field, center field, right field. I don't know if you hear my dog back there barking. He plays all these positions, so he's gonna come. He's gonna want. I think personally, a lot of people think you could get him for the low 20s. I don't think so. I think he's gonna get he's gonna get a good 5-year, maybe 5-year deal, anywhere between like roughly around 30 million. That's what I think. Maybe 28, 30, 32, whatever it is. Um, so that's that, right? And then Kyle Tucker, right? For the amount of money that people are talking about he's gonna get, anywhere from 300 plus million, a long-term deal, for a guy, obviously his, and when you look at their fielding value, like, so obviously if Kyle Tucker comes to the Yankees, he's gonna have to play left field. I wouldn't want him at center, although he could play center. I'd rather have him at left field. Me personally, I'm trying to look for his stats right here. His left field fielding percentage is pretty good, pretty good. And then that leaves center field open. Like some people want Dominguez, maybe. Um, I personally, I don't know. I don't think Dominguez can handle that center field position. But I would say this: I would like a righty or switch hitter in the outfield if we get Cody Bellinger or Kyle Tucker, right? Let's say we re-sign Cody Bellinger. You could throw him at center field, and then Dominguez got to get better at left, right? He has to get better at left. We need to balance out this lineup. We can't be too left-handed heavy like we are right now. So let me know what you guys think. Looking at those numbers and everything, is Kyle Tucker worth the extra money when you look at the stats? Me personally, I think Kyle Tucker's the better player. I'm gonna be honest. Um, he's the better in terms of just, I don't know, for just raw slugging ability, right? Overall, I think Bellinger is the better fit because he can play multiple positions, right? It's not like you're gonna ask Kyle Tucker to play first base in a pinch, right? If you need somebody, um, Cody Bellinger, you can do that. So, and he could play center, he could play all these positions. So, I guess it's pretty much. I think what the Yankees will do is, I think what they'll do. Jacob Juicy said, "Hell no, he's not." What do you mean? Who's not? What? You got to be more specific, man, because I don't know what you're talking about. I think Bellinger. I think Bellinger is the get for the Yankee. We know what he's gonna bring. He's been on the team. He knows the clubhouse. I think that's the Yankees. They're gonna go after him first and see if they can get him first, right? Um, because like I said, the numbers are just not there for me personally. If the numbers was a big difference, right? If Kyle Tucker was obviously the clearly just much better player, then I say, hey, go for Kyle Tucker. But he really isn't. When you look at the numbers, and I thought he was, right? Um, But when you look at the numbers, and I'm gonna pull it up again, he really isn't. This is career numbers. We'll look at career numbers. We'll look at their last year numbers, and then we'll look at their postseason numbers. Um, and for Belly's defense, right? When he could play first, he could play all these positions. I think it's worth getting Bellinger instead of Kyle Tuck and saving the money too. Saving the money. But if for whatever reason they can't retain Cody Bellinger, then I could see them possibly going after Kyle Tucker. Um, he's gonna want a lot of money. At that point, I think the Yankees will be in trouble, right? If they can't get Bellinger, uh, it's gonna be a lot of people throwing money Kyle Tucker's way. There's some other free agents out there in the outfield. You got Cedric Mullins out there, Harrison Bader, um, Trent Grisham, obviously, but I think the Yankees we should pass on Trent Grisham. We definitely should pass on him. Oh, do I think Spencer Jones is the starting center fielder? A lot has to go wrong for Spencer Jones to be the starting center fielder, in my opinion. That mean, and when I see a lot has to go wrong, that means that we couldn't retain Bellinger. Um, yeah, and a lot of things will have to change. I don't think he's gonna be the starting anything next year unless we fail to bring in some players. I think he will make his debut next year, whether he's in a starting position or he's just a bench player or he comes maybe at some point during the season. I think Spencer Jones will make an appearance, but or get traded, right? These are the 2025 stats, and then these are the postseason stats, which neither one of these guys are particularly that good when it comes to the postseason. So yeah, I mean, look, plain and simple, right? I think so. My take on this, right, and you can disagree. I think the Yankees go for Bellinger first. If that doesn't work out, then they make an attempt at Kyle Tucker. In the meantime, they're going to be talking to both of them because that's what the Yankees do. Look, it doesn't hurt to make an offer, right? Let's say they every team should be making an offer on a guy like Kyle Tucker. Every single team, whether it's a low ball offer that they're just going to kind of laugh at or not. You should always make an offer. You never know. He might really want to be a Yankee. And at that point, if you could get him for the cheap, for the low, then you make that move. But I think that the first thing is to just try to retain Bellinger. If you can't, then you got to pivot quick, um, and then pursue Tucker aggressively. And then if that doesn't work out, then we're in really bad shape at that point. Then we gotta go to the lower tier free agents, and stuff. I still think, me personally, I still feel like once this season is over and once the winning meetings start, there are gonna be some players, some big time players that we're not expecting to hit the market, the trade market, are gonna be available. And at that point, the Yankees need to be ready to strike. We need to be ready to jump on some of these guys like that. So you can't really go too crazy in the free agency market, but we do have to address some issues. We do have to address some issues. Like a lot of I keep hearing Murakami, right? Everybody wants Murakami. I'll stay away from that guy. Look, I was listening to Eric Chavez, right? The former New York Mets hitting coach. He was on Foul Territory talking. And he said, man, he said there's no surprise, right? Why teams like the Blue Jays and the Brewers and teams that put the ball in play are doing so well. He was like, and he said that the pitching has gotten so good. The pitching has gotten so good that all that launch angle and trying to hit home runs, it doesn't work. The pitching is so good these days that it doesn't work. You just simply put the ball in play. And Murakami, look, we're trying to get more. We're trying to get more fundamental, right? Meaning we're trying to put the bat to the ball, right? Um, and Murakami doesn't do that. He strikes out at an alarming rate in the MPB. In a league where for the most part, from what I understand, pitchers pitch to contact over there. Yeah, you got a lot of good pitchers. Don't get it twisted. There's some great pitchers over there. But for the most part, they're in the zone and they pitch to contact, and you're whiffing that much. That's pretty scary. Yeah, the power numbers are there, but we've been down this road before. We've been down this road. It's too risky for me. For a guy like Murakami, I'll pass. I'll pass. Um, Plain and simple. And then a guy like I see CT card. Let's get into the chat, man. We'll get into the chat, then we'll kind of go off. Let me know too who you want, Bellinger or Tucker. If you had to pick between the two, Bellinger or Tucker, let me put a poll in here. As a matter of fact, I'll just create a poll. Um, Let me create this poll real quick. Who should the Yankees sign? Cody Bellinger, Kyle Tucker. And then we'll put both too. And if you pick both, you gotta explain how do you how do we Yankees afford it, first of all, and how do we balance the lineup out at that point? So the poll is up in the chat. Yeah, the Mariners are kicking ass. Let me pull that up real quick. Yeah, man. And you know what? I was watching the game. I just turned it off to um to stream. Um, it's crazy because they're not doing nothing that much special than the Yankees could have done. Is that we flat out couldn't hit and our pitchers couldn't pitch for whatever reason. They had the worst game plan. The worst. Not only did we have the worst approach at the plate for a rookie like your Savage. You see how they hit this guy, right? Um, we had the worst approach at the plate and the worst game plan on the mound. Just terrible, you know. So I don't know who you want to blame for that, but whatever. Real Bill says Tucker made 16.5 million last year, and it's reported he's going to ask for a huge. Yeah, he's gonna get 300 plus million without a doubt. So do the Yankees want to do that? I don't know, right? I think if they go that route, I'd be highly surprised. I know a lot of people. So my thing is, a lot of people want Kyle Tucker, and I'm the same guy. Like I want the Kyle Tucker. But when I look at the numbers for when I compare him to Cody Bellinger, it's not much difference. You know, it really isn't. There is a difference. I still think Kyle Tucker is slightly a better player, a better hitter too. Um, but not by much. Not by much. Um, so yeah, I mean, look, I say go for Cody Bellinger first. If you see that that's falling apart negotiations, then you know you have Kyle Tucker on deck just in case. Unless he signs first, then it all depends. It's going to be interesting. I'm sure right now they're talking, right as we speak. They're talking to their agents. Jay Cena says both, and then my thing is if we do both, let's say the Yankees go both, right? Because they could definitely do that, and then you put Bellinger in center field, um, Kyle Tucker at left because he plays left pretty good historically. Um, And then you gotta get some righties in there because we have way too many lefties. At that point, I'm gonna be honest with you. At that point, you got to think about trading Rice, trading Dominguez. I mean, even though Dominguez is a switch hitter, possibly even Spencer Jones, and I'd do it too. I would do all that if we could get Cody Bellinger and Kyle Tucker. Then all those guys are on the chopping block for me, all of them. And with those pieces, with those trade pieces, I go out there and I go to a team like the A's and I give them whatever they want, right? For Jacob Wilson and Nick Kurtz, whatever they want. Or I'll go to the Los Angeles Angels and I give them whatever they want, right? Not whatever they want, but I'd make them a deal they can't refuse for a guy like Zach Neto. Um, and that's what you're gonna have to do to really, really make significant change in this lineup. We've seen. Look, let's be, the the we've seen right now, right, what's happening in the playoffs. The fact of the matter is that this team was not good enough. The 2025 Yankees, they were good in a sense that we could beat up on bad teams. But when we play good teams, you can tell that we weren't good enough. We just weren't good enough. Look at the Mariners, what they're doing with the Blue Jays, right? when the timely hitting, everything, they're just so much better than the Yankees. Where the Yankees were a one trick pony, home run or nothing. That's all we were, a one trick pony. We couldn't string together hits for nothing. We had black holes in the lineup, man. Black Anthony Volpe, a black hole in the lineup. Austin Wells, for the most part, was a black hole in the lineup. And these are guys that we gotta move. You know, I hear a lot. Another thing I've been hearing that I'm against, right? Um, this notion that people want to make Ben Rice the starting catcher. I no, okay, we can't do that, man. Ben Rice, if Ben Rice is the starting catcher, we're in trouble. The guy can't. He's not defensively. He's not there. You know, he can't throw out runners either. So I don't think, and I like Ben Rice a lot. But maybe backup catcher, the same role he had this year, unless he gets significantly better defensively, he's gonna be a first baseman or a backup catcher. That's all you can do with him or trade him. And I love Ben Rice, but it's getting to that point. Look, if we want to make significant change, we gotta do that. Another thing I hear people, Pete Alonso, a lot of Pete Alonso talk. Um, Pete Alonso's a guy whose his defense is not good at all, right? His arm is terrible, and at some point he's going to be a DH, right? We still don't know what's going on with Judge. Judge, it's not like we haven't heard anything. I know he was at the Rangers game with Anthony Rizzo last night, but is his elbow okay? Like, what's going to happen there? Does he need to be at DH more, or is he going to have surgery? What's going to happen? You know, we still don't know that, so we can't go getting guys who could possibly clog that DH role. Just can't do that. Let me open up the stats real quick. Yeah, we can't do that. But let me say what's up to everybody in the chat. And I appreciate it. If you haven't, please like the video, subscribe if you can. Um, yeah, I don't know if you like this new kind of layout that I'm doing here. Let me switch here. Yeah. All right. Rory says, I wasn't happy with Belly this postseason. Trent was awful too, but I think they will go with Belly. Yeah, they're gonna try to go with Belly, but the thing is, he's gonna want a certain amount of money. Will the Yankees go there? That it all depends on his asking and what other teams are gonna offer him because there's other teams out there. They're gonna make offers. If they haven't made offers already. So what if another team outbids us and then he's like, could they come back to us? Remember, he's a Boris client. Um, at the end of the day, Boris is going to do whatever Bellinger wants. But the fact of the matter is that Boris doesn't play fair. He's not going to do the Yankees any favors. Um, he's gonna he's gonna twist our arm. He's gonna squeeze us for every penny that he can. I think. Um, but we'll see. He tried it with Garrett Cole. Try to play games with us and stuff. Katie, what's up, Katie? CT says Jace just found out who their daddy is tonight. Yeah, it's not over though. Blue Jays fans are eating a nice slice of humble pie. That's all it is. But the series is not over because I see a lot of Mariners fans starting to get a little cocky too. Always be humble, guys. Trust me. Be humble. Healing Man's Heart. Hal won't spend on both. You get one or the other. I think he would. Here's the thing. Hal don't care. He'll spend on both. Hal has a limit. His limit's 300 million. He really wants it under 270. But so 270 to 300, that's where he'll push it to. As long as you stay there, he don't care what Cashman does with it. As long as he can keep it in that range. And then we gotta figure out the bullpen too, because the bullpen is gonna be crazy. So I think looking at the poll here, let me see. I think most people are going with Cody Bellinger. And I agree with you guys. I go with Cody Bellinger. Some people saying both. We'll see. All right, let's have this Bo Bichette conversation, right? Because that's another thing I keep hearing. Guys, I like Bo Bichette. I really do. But this guy gets hurt way too often. I'm sorry. That's a huge risk. He's not even playing right now. He's not on the roster right now as we speak. This is every year with him, guys. This ain't a one-off thing. This is every year he misses a significant amount of time. So are you gotta ask yourself, are you willing to take that risk with a guy who's injury prone? That's what he is. He's injury prone and he doesn't play great defense. Is it an upgrade from Anthony Volpe? Of course it is. But the best ability is availability. And if you always heard, look, he's not available right now. Right now, in the biggest games, I'd say in the last 30 years for the Blue Jays, he's not available. Um, yeah, I don't know about Bo Bichette either. I think that the Yankees, what they should do is go out there and go get some guys on the trade market. Look, this guys should be had on the trade market. Don't get it twisted. Like the Angels right now. The Angels are stuck in a rock and a hard place with Zach Neto because they don't want to extend him, and I don't think he wants to extend. He probably wants to test free agency. So they eventually they got to make a decision. Either give him a extension that he can't refuse because he has control to like 2028 or something like that. I can't remember. Either extend him or just waste them up and he's gonna walk anyway from them guys, or trade them while they can, right? I'd 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 make some offers to them. I'd make some offers. We got a lot of dead weight on this team that we don't really need. That we don't really need. The last thing I want to see, right, is Oswaldo Cabrera starting shortstop next year. That's the last thing we need. And I like Caballero. Caballero's a fine player, but I don't think he's a starting shortstop either. He's more of a stopgap kind of guy. And if we really want to win, we got to figure it out. We got to figure it out. Hold on. So I say, right? If we bring back Cody Bellinger, you can always get a guy to play center field or left field, right? Um, get somebody, a right-handed bat. Um, I like I like whatchamacallit. And then you got to think about the bench. The bench, Oswaldo Cabrera. If we could bring back Amer Rosario, I'd bring him back. And then Caballero. I mean, it's getting crowded real quick, on the Yankees. I'm even open to trading whatchamacallit, Oswaldo Cabrera. Look, I like Oswaldo Cabrera a lot, but let's face it, man, he ain't moving the needle like that, man. He's a good player, but he ain't a great player, right? And sometimes we need to get good. We need to get really, really good guys that could put the ball in play. I'm talking about, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think all these guys on the chopping block for me. If I'm the general manager, all of them are on the chopping block. I'd reach out to the A's and be like, look, what do you want? Give me, tell me what you want for Nick Kurtz and Jacob Wilson. Let's see if we can make something happen, right? Even though they're gonna want a lot for something like that, but if you could find a deal like that for Nick Kurtz and Jacob Wilson, I send them Anthony Volpe, Ben Rice, Spencer Jones, and Dominguez, and I'll give him Warren just for those two players. Just for those two players, because we have a surplus of players right now, guys, and that's a good thing, especially like pitchers. Even though pitchers, you never know, right? Because we might go into spring training and two pitchers go down, but we have a surplus in a lot of players. We have a lot of talent that we don't have nowhere to play them. Especially if they bring back Bellinger, right? Let's say they bring back Cody Bellinger or Kyle Tucker, either war. Um, Now you got to think about what does the outfield look like? You think they're gonna run Dominguez out there in the outfield? You know, unless he gets much better. But they've already shown that they don't have a lot of faith in Dominguez. They've already shown that. So I don't think they do that either. Um, Spencer Jones, right? Maybe they throw him out there, but look, at the end of the day, Spencer Jones is a rookie. We don't know what he's capable of doing. He might come up here and go through, his growing pains and have issues and stuff. And then what? So I could see them getting a journeyman to play the outfield, a guy like Harrison Bader. Maybe not him. I could see them doing something like that, along with the Cody Bellinger, just in case Dominguez can't get it together. And they're gonna have to do that, I think. Sheila says the Yankees did beat the good teams when they weren't slumping, though. The problem is the home run or nothing. Um, yeah, we beat them once in September. I agree. Yeah, but nah, I'm sorry. We did kind of, but not really. The Yankees, look, let's face it, this team on paper, they were great. They never lived up to their potential. They really weren't that good, guys. I'm sorry to say it. We knew it deep down. I knew it deep down. You guys all knew it deep down. Good teams don't go on streaks like they went for those 2 months. Good teams don't go a week with only scoring 2 runs. They literally went 5 days and only scored 2 runs in 5 days, guys. Good teams don't do that. They weren't on paper. We have a lot of talent, but they really weren't that good. They really weren't that good. I mean, plain and simple. When you think about it, like even our pitching, like everybody was surprised that Max Fried got rocked by the Blue Jays. Why? Why were you so surprised? He hasn't pitched well against them the whole year. He faced them 4 times total, including the playoffs, and got rocked every time. Why would you expect anything different? Same thing with Rodon. When you look at all like Vladimir Guerrero's numbers against Rodon, Fried, and Luis Hill, just outstanding numbers. Why would you expect anything different? Why would the Yankees even pitch to him? Is the real question. So, in hindsight, when I think about it more, look, we were no match for them. We weren't that good. And I hope the Yankees see it that way too, because the Yankees keep thinking that they're good, even after they lost. Boone is telling them you're the best team in the American League. You're the best team in baseball. No, you're not. When they lost first place to the Blue Jays, remember in the middle of the season, it came out. Boone told them. Jazz told. They were like, "What did Boone tell you guys in the clubhouse?" And Jazz Chisholm was like, "Oh, that we're the best." He was reminding us that we're the best team in baseball and all that. No, you're not. You're not the best. You're not even the best team in the American League. You're not even the best team in the American League East. So I'm sorry, man. This team just wasn't that good. They have to get better. They absolutely do. And when a lot of people giving A-Rod a lot of crap because A-Rod said the roster was poorly constructed. And a lot of people don't agree with that. And I'll tell you what, some of it I didn't agree, but when he said that you got 5 DHs, maybe not 5, but he wasn't lying, A-Rod. You have a few DHs. Once Judge got hurt, guess what? He was reduced to DH. So now you got Judge DH, Stanton DH, because Stanton can't play nothing else but DH. You got Ben Rice, who's really a DH, He's half DH, half first base slash catcher, and he doesn't do any of those particularly well, either one of those positions. So he's a 3. So now you got 3 DHs there. You see what I'm saying? So um they got to do better, man. The thing is, we're stuck with Stanton right now. And I love Big G, but we can't. So I say that to say this: we can't bring in any more DHs, right? Or anybody who could possibly be a DH. That's why I don't want Pete Alonso. I like Pete Alonso. He's a great player. I don't want Pete Alonso, even though I want that right-handed bat and that first baseman, he's not a great defending first baseman. I don't want him there because if any little thing happens to him, guess where he needs to play? DH. You know, he's gonna be a DH, and then what if Judge needs the DH spot? You know, you already know Big G is a permanent DH. And then what do you do with Ben Rice? You know, you want him as your starting catcher? I know I don't. I don't want him as a starting catcher or a um unless he gets better at first base, but he's got to get better at first base too. Got to get better at first base. Peter says, Who will want Wells off this year? With automated strike zone, his framing is worthless. Hopefully, it's just a sophomore jinx. I mean, unless we get another catcher, we got to get another catcher for. I think Wells is all right. Right, Wells is all right. I think we should get a right-handed backup catcher, just to switch it up, man, and give Wells a break. Give him some time off. I think maybe he could be a better hitter if he didn't catch so many games. And that's the same thing too with people that say they want Ben Rice to be a starting catcher because his bat is too good. Uh, I don't know. I'll challenge that and say, look, what's not to say that the reason why his bat is so good is because he doesn't have to be crouched down every single game. What if he starts playing catcher and it takes a toll on his body, and all of a sudden his offensive numbers take a hit? You know what I'm saying? So I like Ben Rice a lot, but he puts this team in a sticky situation where it's like you got to compromise something with them always. Whenever Ben Rice is playing, you're making a compromise. When he's behind the plate, you're making a compromise for defense behind the plate. If he's playing first, you're compromising yourself there. Uh, so look, Brian Cashman got a lot of decisions to make. I say, I say, everybody is on the chopping block for the right players. Like I said again, I'd call the A's and see about what I could get from them. In particular, Anthony Volpe cannot be. He cannot be the shortstop. He just can't. He cannot be the shortstop. Plain and simple. Um. So how do you fix the Yankees for 2026? That's where I'll start. I'll start with the shortstop position because you can't be that bad at shortstop, man. You're not giving us anything, and you're not gonna get much from the trade market. I mean, trade market, the free agency market. Um, you got guys like Willie Castro out there who could probably play short. And we got Caballero. You could start him at short, really, if you want. Um, and I like Caballero, but I don't think he's gonna give you much more. He's gonna give you more than Volpe. But if you really want to go out, man, you go out there and you go to one of these teams, one of these good young shortstops, and you make them a deal they can't refuse. Right? You go to the Angels and tell them, look, man, trade this dude. Trade him to us. You're not gonna extend them anyway. So what are you doing? You're not competing for anything anyway. And see if they'll bite. See, this says the only way we get better is by giving the person reps. It may not be a bad idea. Um, yeah, man. But the thing is, it's hard. Certain things you just can't afford to lose even for the sake of reps. Unless y'all okay with just unless we rebuilding. Now, if you said, look, we rebuilding, we're gonna give the kids a chance and all that, then cool. But if you're serious about winning, then it's not time to be learning on the job, really. Unless you provide something that we can absolutely not live without, right? If look, if we want to win a championship before Judge retires, they got to make some bold moves, some really bold moves. You got to move on from some players, not because they're not good, but not because we don't love these players, but because they just don't fit. They don't fit what we're trying to do. We got so many lefties out here. Like we can't have all these lefties, man. Um, I think. Look. Even Ben Rice. Look, I'd put Ben Rice, Will Warren, Clark Schmidt, even though he's hurt. Um, Ben Rice, Will Warren, Clark Schmidt, uh, Spencer Jones, Jason Dominguez. Um, who else? Even George Lombard Jr. All these guys to me are they're pieces that you can get rid of. You can trade all of them. Let me ask you guys this: would you trade if the Angels or the A's offered you right now? They said, "Look, give us Jason Dominguez and George Lombard Jr. for Zach Neto, or for Jacob Wilson." Will you make that trade? Will you make that trade? Think about it. And I'll tell you, I'll make the trade. I will make the trade. It just says no. I'm making the trade. And I'll tell you why. Because that's going to be somebody who can impact this team immediately. The minute that trade is made, the team is much better. You understand what I'm saying? Like already is much better. And then you trade Volpe somewhere else or send him to the minors. You know, you gotta. The Yankees gotta. They gotta make. Look, you have to make moves. You have to make bold moves at that. Bold moves at that. Oh, I didn't even put the stat thing. My bad, guys. Hold on. Let me fix this real quick. Yeah, but let me know. Do you trade them, guys? Are you making those trades? Egyptian magician says no. Why not though? He says play Dominguez. What if Dominguez can't play defense? Look, you gotta admit the defense is bad. It's really bad. Like you can't ignore that, dude. You really can't ignore that unless he goes to plays winner ball and plays really, really well. You can't ignore that. And Yassine says the Yankees could use a guy like Stephen Kwan. I agree, but then you're introducing another lefty into the lineup. Like where do you make up for that? You have to balance the lineup out too. Like, I think that if Jason Dominguez goes and plays the Dominican Republic and plays well and shows that he can play defense, like really good defense, then you take that chance again. Um, but the defense is not there, guys. I'm sorry. The defense is not there. And as long as that defense is that bad, he's not gonna play, dude. As long as his defense is that bad. And that's why A-Rod said when somebody's defense is that bad and their bat is not good enough to warrant that, they're essentially a DH. You know? So hold on, let me put this together here. So you gotta think about it like that. I mean, give me a second, guys. I'm doing something here. Um, and it's unfortunate, man, because I love Dominguez, but sometimes, man, it is what it is. There we go. All right. Okay. Let me pull up some. You know, for a guy like this, man, I make the trade. I 100% make the trade immediately. Immediately. You know, at some point, man, and the fan base too. Like we all have to come to an look. We gotta let go of these guys that we fall in love with, right? Pause. These players that we consider that they're great. Look at we've been burned so many times. Just imagine if we had traded Peraza, Volpe, Esteban Florial, all these guys, like all these guys, right? Um, that ended up panning out to be nothing. Imagine if we traded them at their height, right? Imagine what this team would be. And that's why I'm at that point right now, right? Where the Yankees they're afraid to trade these guys because even though we've traded a lot of people, look at Caleb Durbin, what he's doing right now with the Brewers. Um, but the fact of the matter is, right, and Joel Sherman said it best, if the Yankees traded away every single prospect they had since Aaron Judge, they would have been okay. Because all these guys, none of them ever panned out to be really that great. Remember Tyler Wade? How much we love that guy, right? You know, and that's why I say, look, I'm ready to move on. I love Dominguez too. I love Dominguez, but if we can make this team better, right now he didn't even play. He got one at bat in the postseason. That tells you they're not gonna play. So if they're not gonna play him, if he's gonna be on the bench or platoon, if he's not ready to take over a starting role on the team, then trade him. Trade him, bro. Trade him. You could say let him play, but they're not letting him play, bro. He's not good enough out there in defense. Trade him. For real, man. Trade him. And I love the dude, but he's got to go. He's got to go. Same thing with Spencer Jones. I'd like to see him up here at some point, but if you can get somebody that's going to impact the team that we know is a sure thing in the big leagues, you gotta think about it. You really do. You have to make the decision. You have to make the move. Cashman won't give up on his golden boy Volpe. The worst thing that could happen, right? And I said this the last time I was on. The worst thing that can happen, and look, a lot of us are gonna fall for it, right? A lot of you right now in that chat, you guys are gonna fall for this too. When spring training comes and they say it's a competition between him and Caballero and Volpe balls out, you're gonna be surprised how many people are gonna be like, "Oh, Volpe's back. He fixed it and everything." Don't fall for it, guys. It's spring training, okay? Don't fall for it. And that's what they're banking on. And that's what's going to happen. They just got to move on from Volpe. They got to move on from him and go out there and get a real freaking shortstop. A real shortstop. A major league shortstop. You know, you got to get, you got to make the decision. Man, you guys are going crazy, man. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't. How many likes we got in here? Hold on. 15 likes. Prove he sucks. Too many lefties is making my brain hurt. Yeah, man, we too lefty. You know what, and it's too easy to pitch when the lineup is so lefty like that. This is why I was upset with Boone and the Yankees, and they kept running Trent Grisham out there, the same freaking lineup. It was too easy for John Schneider. It's like clockwork. Bring in the lefty to face the lefties, right? And throwing breaking balls. The Yankees can't hit the damn breaking ball to save their life. Especially if you got a split finger, if you got a splitty, oh man, half the team is striking out. Let me see. Is the game over right now? Yep. 10-3, man. Blue Jay fans are sick. Duh. Blue Jays lose. Jays fans are in the corner crying. It's not over yet, though. They can still come back, but they got a tall mountain to climb. Right? Losing both games at home. Going on the road, especially in Seattle, man. That crowd is loud. Absolutely loud. Hey, I'm gonna put the link. If anybody wants to join, right? If anybody wants to join the stream, I'm gonna drop the link here in the chat. Shoot, what am I doing? I got so many windows open that it is absolutely insane. All right, I'm gonna drop this in the chat. If you want to join, please do. Yeah, guys. I don't know. I think look, the Yankees, man, they're stuck between a rock and a hard place because they They have to make some big, bold moves, man. They have to shake it up. This cannot go on. You can't run this back. You can't run this back, man. Even though I wouldn't put it past them to do it. They will absolutely try to run this back. It's just you can't, in my opinion. You just absolutely can't. Let me set this up real quick. Or I pinned the link to join the stream if you want in the chat. So that's there. Yeah. All right. Egyptian the brain power of our front office is non-existent. CT says last year we had Torres be the error machine. This year, Volpe's here to shine. Yep. Healing Men's Heart says, sure would be nice to have Jacob Wilson at shortstop. Management is in love with Volpe, though. I would trade a lot of players for Wilson. That's what I'm saying. So would I. So would I. That kid is special. He can play. He can play. Um, you, and the thing is, the A's, they're gonna want a lot. And I don't usually like trading with the A's because we've been burnt so many times. But that's a guy that I take a chance on. Or Nick Kurtz, somebody like that, man. Um, these are the stars of the future. I'm telling you, these kids are the stars of the future. So, and these guys they already up here doing it. Well, you got a guy like Spencer Jones. Don't get me wrong. I love Spencer Jones. I think he's gonna be a good player, but we don't know really. These guys, man, you teams like the A's, these guys who are playing their young guys, the Nats, then instead of these guys playing in AAA, they're already up here getting major league experience. These guys are proven. These are the guys you got to go after. It's going to cost you. It's going to cost you, but you go after them, man. I don't trust the Yankees development system to really develop any of these guys anymore. And maybe I could be wrong. I just don't trust them. They haven't shown me anything to say that that these guys are going to come up here and pan out. Come on, guys. Hold on. Let me Healing Men's Hearts is in the building. Let me add him up here. Give me a second. I gotta let me add you here. No, all right. Um, give me 1 second. All right. Damn, I don't know what the hell just happened here. All right. Healing Men's Heart, what's up, man? You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. Sorry about that, man. I wasn't prepared.
Oh, it's okay.
So how you doing?
Doing good.
So what do you think? I mean, at first we'll start over. Who do you think the Yankees? Who do you want the Yankees to go after in terms of Cody Bellinger and Kyle Tucker, and what is more realistically going to happen? Do you think?
I hate to be negative, but I'm just sitting here thinking of like Hal and his yacht money, and I really think he might try to go after Bellinger, just because I've heard a lot of talk that Bellinger fits more like the Yankee mold than probably Kyle Tucker. But I don't think we're realistically going to get both. The big question for me, though, is Dominguez, because they didn't play him very much in the playoffs or really at the end at the regular season, too, into the playoffs. So I don't know if that's due to his bad defense and he needs winter ball and they'll give him a chance. But like Dominguez, to me, like you were saying earlier in the stream, he's a trade piece. I think, I hate to say it, but Ben Rice would be a good trade piece too for something. Because if you think about it, man, like the Yankees are kind of like a clogged toilet. They got so many pieces, but they don't have quality pieces.
Yeah.
So they got to make some moves, like you said, like the two shortstops you brought up, Wilson and Nito. I think that's how you pronounce his last name. I mean, those would be, if they were serious, they would cut off Volpe. But to be realistic with you, I think they're going to try to roll Volpe again. I really do, man. I hate saying that, but Cashman loves him.
Yeah, I think they're gonna do what we all expect. They're gonna make it a competition come spring training, and he's gonna win because he can handle AAA arms and some of these arms that you're gonna face in spring training. Coming fresh too. No, he doesn't have the grind of 162 on his body. So he's going to win that, and we're all going to be jumping for joy. And as April passes, come May, he's going to revert right back to the same thing. That's what I think is going to happen.
Right.
But I agree, though. I think that the Yankees, look, and it's not me because I like Dominguez a lot. I want him to pan out. But I don't think the Yankees view him like that. And at this point, it's like, what are you going to do? Like at this point, in this stage of his young career, I feel like you trade him so that way he can find a home somewhere else and let him, go on and prosper, or you play him. And it doesn't look like the Yankees want to play him unless they're stuck with no other choice. I think. So I think he's an excellent trade piece. I think Ben Rice is, like you said, we have a lot of pieces to the puzzle. They're just not the right pieces. You understand?
Right.
Like these guys are great players. Don't get me wrong. A lot of them, but they don't fit in what we're trying to do or what the Yankees need to do. Yeah, so I think that I think the trade market is the way to go. I don't like the free agent market right now. I don't think it's that great. I think in order to get some of these guys that are on the free agent market, a guy like Kyle Schwarber, who we don't need because we got too many DHs anyway. Or even Cody Bellinger, Kyle Tucker, a lot of these, any of these premium pitchers that are out there. Not saying that we need them, but even bullpen arms, they're gonna cost a premium. The Yankees are, if you want these guys, you're gonna have to pay and maybe even overpay. Anybody out there that you got your eye on though?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like you're saying, the free agent market is just kind of mid this year. Definitely don't want that guy from Japan, Murakami. I mean, I was watching the same stream as you before we got on, Dan with Yankees Avenue. Yeah. I just don't get the hype with him. He'll probably have like a 50% strikeout rate in the majors here, but
let me.
I don't know, man. Like, I live here in St. Louis, so I kind of have an eye on like the St. Louis Cardinals a little bit. They're starved for starting pitching. I don't know if you've heard of a player called Alec Burleson. He can play first base. I think he was 5th in the National League in batting average. It was like low 290s, approaching mid 290s for batting average. I mean, he's got a little pop. He's a left-handed bat, though. That's the only knock. We have too many left-handed bats, but you could get away from Warren or Heel because the Cardinals need starting pitching. And they would probably take those two off your hands. So I don't know. That's what I would be looking at, but he's a left-handed bat, so that's probably a no-go.
Jonathan, can you hear us, Jonathan?
I hear you.
Yeah. Okay. What's up, man?
Not too much. I didn't realize you were even live right now.
Yeah. Sorry about that. I'm trying something. I'm using OBS, which is a little it involves a lot more work, so to speak. So what do you think, Jonathan? I'm here with Healing Men's Hearts. I don't know if you guys have ever spoken to each other.
I haven't met you, no.
I can't even see his face, man. I see your head though, Healing Men's Hearts.
But yeah, it's my camera angle. My laptop's broken, so I can bring it down just a tad, but it won't stay like that. But
no, that's
sorry
fine.
About that.
So Jonathan, Bellinger, real quick, all right. Who would you rather sign, Bellinger or Kyle Tucker? Why and what are the Yankees more realistically gonna do?
I think realistically, Bellinger is the option.
Mm-hmm.
What I want, I think I actually prefer Bellinger because he wants to be a Yankee. He has said a Yankee. He has history. He can play first and outfield if you need it, and he has had success in the postseason.
Yeah.
Tucker, Tucker, and he also, I think he's going to cost less than Tucker. I'm not sure. Tucker will probably want 400 to 500 million,
Mm-hmm.
and Bellinger is probably going to get somewhere between 200 plus.
Yeah.
I don't know what. I can't hear that.
Hold on. Yeah, I think that was Luis Duran. He's trying to. Duran. I'll bring you up in a second because I can only have two people at a time right now. Because if not, is for some reason it gives me trouble. But so yeah, so I mean, anybody else out there, Jonathan, that you think the Yankees could be targeting that's not really like in the spotlight right now? Obviously the big names out there is Kyle Tucker, Cody Bellinger.
I have a feeling the Yankees will make some trades before the Rule 5 draft in December because they have a lot of players that are available in the Rule 5 draft and they cannot protect them. So it would be irresponsible for them not to explore some trades, or else you're just losing them for cash.
Yeah.
But I don't know who right now. Man, look, I could actually see them having a spot shortstop, a short-term shortstop, and eventually moving on from Volpe.
Really?
I hope so.
I'm guessing. I'm guessing they will give Volpe one more year. Yeah, Thor's hammer. Yeah, but I think if Volpe doesn't improve next year, I think he is not going to be here long term. I think it's just too many. The Yankees are too the Yankees are too hopeful on Volpe, and sooner or later, if he doesn't work out, you have to move on from him.
Yeah, I agree. What's up, Luis Duran, man? How you doing,
Hey, what's
brother?
up? I'm all right. You can hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. Let me fix it's a little loud, but I
You
got you.
guys look like you're getting ready for Secret Wars.
They look like they're gonna duke it out with their hammers.
We might, man. We might.
Let's just wait till the bill is paid on next year, because we both ain't gonna pay it.
Oh
That's
yeah.
Where'd all the Blue Jays fans go? I don't see Slowburner over in here.
Mm-hmm. He's crying in his pillow.
I have a feeling Vladimir Guerrero blew him all out with his mouth.
Yeah, I told him the Blue Jays are gonna get swept. You didn't believe me.
Yeah.
I think as long as Vladimir Guerrero, he has to be less arrogant. I know he reminds me of a lot of Manny Ramirez, the way he acts on his field, and he has to be a little bit more mature, in my opinion.
Right. He jinxed it. Well,
No,
good for him.
yeah, man. The thing is, that's what I always say, Luis, man. You got to stay humble, brother. Stay
Listen,
humble.
lad, I took this out of the closet because I put it away after we lost.
Oh yeah, that thing has a brujeria on it.
I'm gonna put holy water next year, especially during the WBC.
So, Luis, man, I'm glad, man. I like when other fan bases join, because we get especially Met fans. With Pete Alonso, what's happening with Pete Alonso, man? You guys gonna re-sign him? Now, what's the fan base want? I think you have to.
He got to be a lifetime Met, but I don't know. Scott Boras is the big problem.
Yeah,
He's
I
gonna
mean,
be asking for too much.
the same thing with Cody Bellinger. We're gonna be in the same boat.
Well, look, the only reason why Boris is asking for so much is because it just like in 2001 when Alex Rodriguez signed that contract that was bigger than anybody ever. He got when Ohtani signed a $700 million contract, it gave everybody permission to ask for $700 million.
Right.
And I think it would have been smarter for the Dodgers to offer him maybe $500 million, which still would have been much more than anybody. Because $700 million would double almost double. I think Mike Trout got 400 plus. But if Ohtani got 500 million, these contracts wouldn't go up so quickly. And yes, I'm all for players making as much money as possible. However, at the same time, it gives other players the leverage to ask for more than they're worth.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, and a lot of Yankee fans are saying that they should go after Pete Alonso, and I'm sure Pete Alonso would like that because it's going to raise his price up. And nothing against Pete Alonso. I think Pete Alonso is a great player, but the he's not a good fit for the Yankees because I feel like you would know Luis more than us because you watch them every day, man.
Right.
I feel like at some point he might need a DH spot. You know, like I don't know how much DH he's played this year.
He should be at the DH spot right now.
That's where he should be at, right?
Hell, Francisco Alvarez thinks to trade him. I broke my remote because I was when he struck out at a freaking ball 4.
You broke your remote, man.
I bought like 3 of them and they don't work. I had to get the original.
Yeah, so you're saying that? I mean, but how much did he play DH this year? I mean, I could look it up, but
I don't know.
Not a lot, right?
No.
I know his defense is shoddy. It's like real. It's dicey.
Right.
I don't know, and I think for the price that he's looking for 7 years, like 30 per year.
I know he's been a staple, but is he worth 7 years?
No,
I don't want to have. I want to be another Bobby Bonilla.
I don't think he gets more than 5.
You don't think he gets more than 5?
No.
I mean, but that's look. I don't know. It depends on what teams are gonna offer him, but I think the Mets got to find a way to keep him a Met, man. He's too. I can't see him playing for another team, and I don't know. It wouldn't be a good look for the Mets. I think if they let him walk to another team.
Right.
That's just how I feel. And he's a good hitter, man. He's a great hitter, But he's the same thing. And it's the same thing with Judge, right? I feel like Judge, especially with the whole elbow thing. And then we'll go to. I want to hear what Healing Men's Hearts had to say about this. We don't know what Judge is gonna need. I don't even know if Judge is gonna play in the World Baseball Classic because he should be. Isn't he still hurt? Like, doesn't he need this whole offseason? Maybe more. Like people.
I have a feeling he's gonna get surgery.
I've been hearing that too. And then if that's the case, how long does that take? How long does he have to stay off that arm from throwing where he needs to be a DH? So we can't have guys who can only play if they're gonna be a DH because we already have one, and that's Stanton. You know.
Well, that was always a big problem with getting Stanton. The Yankees should have gotten Harper instead of Stanton. Stanton was a big. He looked like a good get at the time, but long term for the amount of contracts, Harper would have been much better for the Yankees. And Harper's a lefty.
In hindsight, right? Hindsight's 2020, though. But
well,
I was happy when they got
a lot of fans wanted Harper.
Yeah. What do you think, Healing Men's Heart?
I really think like Alonso should just stay in with the New York Mets. I mean, where else is he gonna go? You know, like come on, man. I guess I don't fault the guy for trying to get more money, but who else is gonna sign Alonso? Who can afford him?
Yeah.
The Dodgers, maybe.
Yeah, but the Dodgers don't want him.
They already got a first baseman, you know.
That would suck for the Mets if he went to the rivals, the biggest rivals.
I know you asked me about Judge. Isn't that what you asked me about?
Yeah, I was asking like, what do you think about a guy like Pete Alonso, or any really. That's the whole reason why I wouldn't want a guy like Kyle Schwarber, any of these guys, anybody, even Ben Rice, anybody who's gonna clog up that DH position. I'm very skeptical of right now.
Do you see Rice getting traded?
If I were the Yankees, I would trade Rice. I mean, I think what Hal's going to do, this will relate to Judge and all that, but I really think like Rice would be a great trade piece for something else. I hate saying that because I like Ben Rice. I like his game. When I saw him last year, I'm like, that kid's going to be good. Just the eyeball test.
Mm-hmm.
But
I knew he could hit. I didn't know he was such a liability. Now it's exposing itself in the field, but I mean, he's just pretty raw with his defensive ability.
he was always a defensive liability.
Yeah.
But also, Hal wants to lower the payroll somehow, and
this is why I think Rice is going to be your first baseman because Hal. I'm sorry, guys, he's just cheap. He is. I really don't think he wants to be half-ass, if I can say that. He just wants to put in as little as possible. And just getting in the playoffs, I think, is the new Yankee way for him. I really think that's what it is.
And that's a problem ever since Hal Steinbrenner had complete control. He doesn't care about winning. He cares about the money.
Yep. I really think with him as the owner, and I'm trying not to be a Debbie Downer, but Ben Rice is going to be your first baseman, which I'm okay with. Maybe he'll get a little better at first base. I just don't think he's a catcher. And then Judge, if he needs surgery, I mean, maybe you could put him at first because you don't really throw very much as a first baseman unless it's like a weird relay maybe to home plate, but usually that's your shortstop and your second baseman. So,
yeah, Jacob
I
brings
really
up a
hope
question.
he doesn't need surgery.
Jacob says, question for the panel. Do you think the Yankees should offer Grish the qualifying offer? In his opinion, it's risky because he just might take it.
I would.
I would. And I'm not a Yankee fan. I would.
Why? Why would I give Grisham a qualifying offer?
Mm-hmm.
Because if he takes it, you have another year of a good defensive player. But here's why I think he would reject it. Because he's coming off his best season ever, best offensive season ever. If he rejects it, this is the time for him to get a big contract. That's why I think he would reject it, because there's no guarantee he repeats this season.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I don't think he'd take the but he just might. You're right. Like, well, I think I don't know. That's a tough one.
I would give him a qualifying offer for the reason that he had a great season, and I think this is the season for him to capitalize on him. And there will be a team. I believe the Mets already are aiming to get Grisham. They're going to offer him a $50+ million contract. He could get. If he goes to free agency and he doesn't accept a qualifying offer, I'm guessing Grisham can get anywhere from $70 to $100 million.
And he's the first baseman, right?
He's a center fielder. So even you talking about Grisham. So that's why the Mets were. The rumors are that at the All-Star, well, around the trade deadline, the Mets were talking with the Yankees about trading Beatty for Trent Grisham. Until Judge got hurt, supposedly. Then Judge got hurt, and that all went away. But
I think we should get rid of Jeff McNeil, but they won't take it.
Yeah, we're not taking him. No.
Yeah, he's no longer.
Take rocks with that.
He's no longer tradable. That's no longer trade. We're talking about qualifying offer.
I don't want to lose one of our prospects either.
But you're not going to have to for Grisham. Grisham is a free agent.
Oh.
Mets, man, you guys need starting pitching, man. I feel bad for you guys.
Yeah, we need new manager also.
Yeah, you should have gotten a new manager. Yeah, I agree with you on that.
Juan Soto did the job. I know that's taboo for some Yankees fans, but the people around him didn't do a damn thing.
Well, that's why I think if Juan Soto wanted the best career possible, He will never have anyone as good as Aaron Judge behind him.
I saw a couple of like memes out there that how to trade Aaron Judge.
That's bullshit.
How to trade
Aaron Judge.
And he'd be the one to probably do that too, but like not now.
Judge would reject it, and that would never happen. That would never happen.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, look. NYYJ says if Judge needs surgery, they need to do it now. We lost all season waiting on Cole. Like, yeah, I agree. But if he hasn't had it now, I don't think he probably thinks he needs it. So
I think what's holding you back is Boone.
If he
Boone
needs
is gone
surgery,
tomorrow. I promise you, you guys are winning the World Series next year.
I think I agree with that. I think Boone needs to go. I do not like his managing. A manager doesn't have to be your best friend.
Right.
A manager is your boss. You don't have to be best friends with your boss. You have to just play better.
mm-hmm.
I don't want.
Yes.
The Yankees don't need a yes man.
I'm just not happy with Boone as a manager. The Yankees have never gone this long with a manager that doesn't win the World Series. Boone is the first. I think the Yankees have never gone more than 4 years with a manager without winning the World Series before Boone. The 4 years they went was Buck Showalter.
George Steinbrenner is probably going.
That's a good trivia question, Jason.
Yeah.
George Steinbrenner would have been gone along to the first.
He would have been gone after last year with what he did.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, I don't know, man. I think that it wasn't all Boone's fault. Like the players, look, they flat out didn't hit, and the pitchers didn't pitch, man. But I agree with you, Jonathan, man. I'm frustrated with Boone as the manager. I'm frustrated with Cashman as the general manager. I'm frustrated with this whole organization. I feel like, man, they're going in the wrong direction, and they're too hard headed, or I don't know what it is. They don't want to admit that they were wrong, to realize that they're wrong. You know, that they something.
If it was me, I would get a new GM, and if they want to keep Cashman, I would promote him to president and fire Randy Levine.
I would just sell the team if I was.
He's never going to sell the team because that's where the money is.
I don't think he can. A lot of people will have to sign off on that.
Yeah.
Hal is not the sole owner like people think.
Hal is the majority owner. I believe he owns almost 70% of the Yankees now.
And not even that, I think. It's the family, right? The Steinbrenner family, I believe.
Right.
But there's a bunch of investors and co-owners, and part of that. I forgot what they call it. The Yankees World Organization, whatever it is called.
Yankees Global Entertainment.
Yeah, so whatever it is. But I'm pretty sure that first of all, he would have to get with it. It would have to be a family's decision to sell the team, and I tell you what, look, all right, so let's have this Hal Steinbrenner conversation, because a lot of people are mad with Hal. I can't be mad at Hal, to be honest. Like, is he the best owner? No, I don't think he's the best owner. Is there a lot of things I wish he did? Of course there is, but let's not forget he offered Juan Soto. He ran up the bid he went toe to toe with King Cohen until King Cohen just one upped them. Right, there was nothing he could do about that. He offered him $760 million, guys.
It's a lot of money.
Like, we cannot sit here and say that Hal's cheap or how. I get it. The Yankees make a lot of money, but my goodness, though, he
should have gave Aaron Judge that money.
No, and that's. I'm glad you brought that up, Luis Duran, because if it weren't for Hal Steinbrenner, Aaron Judge would be a San Francisco Giant right now.
Mm-hmm.
Right, Jonathan?
Yeah. I think if I remember correctly, San Francisco offered Judge $420 million, and he took $360 to come to the Yankees.
Yeah. So, what about you, Healing Man's Hearts? What are your thoughts on the owner of the New York Yankees?
I mean, I still think he's a cheapskate, but I mean, you got to hand it to the Mets. They went out and got Soto. You know, I don't hate them for it because that's the name of the game. You spend to get, because if you guys get starting pitching with him, I mean, it's looking
But
up
how
for you.
How can you call him a cheapskate when he consistently has the highest payroll in baseball for the last 25 years?
Does he? I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure the Dodgers are probably
not the highest, but top
recently.
three.
But does he spend any of it? I don't really know.
Yeah, I really
it.
think he spends it on yacht money shit. I really do. I mean,
a team payroll is spent on the team. We're talking about a team payroll. The Yankees have consistently had a top 3 payroll since 1998.
I mean, you can miss me with that because it shows on the field. I mean, get better players.
Not all
give everybody a lot of money, but
not all of the contracts worked. Ellsbury, crap. Pavano, crap. Jared Wright, crap. You have many more that you probably can think of that are all garbage.
Well, I'll give you an example. This offseason. So if Hal really wants to win, first of all, he'd be like, I don't care if Volpe's from New Jersey. Get rid of his ass. That's number one. You got to prove it to me. Get rid of Boone. Get rid of this analytic crap. You got to go out there. And, I mean, I hate the Blue Jays organization, what they play baseball the right way. But if you want to win, get me contact hitters. This Murray stuff with 50 home runs. Oh, I think it'll be good for our fit. Like, we're the Bronx Bombers.
Right.
That Bomber stuff's got to go away. Play baseball. Get me contact hitters.
Yeah, I mean,
there's another Japanese player out there who's a contact hitter, and he's from the Yomiuri Giants. I forget his name.
Okoyoto. I forgot. Man. I can't say his name. I butchered it, man.
I just found this guy a couple days ago, so I think he would be the better fit for the Yankees.
Yeah. Real Bill says Boone is on the contract through 2027. The Yankees exercised their option in February and gave. Yeah, I know he Boone. Look, the fact of the matter is, I doubt that they're gonna move Boone. Cashman isn't going anywhere either. We just gotta hope that they do the right thing. But I would say, in terms of like how I'm gonna bring it back, and that'll be the last thing I say about him. Look, can he spend more? Yes, he can afford it. He definitely can afford it, but I think he's taking a stance where 300 million is his limit, and I think that him and a bunch of other owners come after the 2026 season, it's gonna be a battle between the Players Association and these owners. I think Hal is one of the guys that's pushing for this salary cap thing. So for him to go back on his word, he wants a salary cap, right? For him to go spend $400 million is going against what him and I'm sure a bunch of other owners are trying to do, you know?
The players will never agree to a salary cap.
I know, and that's why there's going to be a lockout, right? I don't think there's going to be a salary cap, but something's going to, I don't know. We'll see what happens.
We're not
I would do a salary floor.
Based on that, what's his name? Manfred went into the Phillies dugout and Harper told him to go pound sand. I'm like, oh yeah, we're having a lockout.
Yeah. Harper gave him a mouthful. And you know Harper's history. He knows how to talk.
Yeah, he's a loose cannon. On another note, around the league, Xander Bogaerts and Jose Iglesias suspended for that whole fiasco with the Empires in the NL Division Series. I don't know if you guys know that.
I haven't heard.
I didn't hear about that, but
do you know what happened though?
No.
Yeah, that strike 3 call, wasn't it on Xander Bogaerts?
It was on Xander Bogaerts to lead off the 9th in was it game 5 or game 4? I don't know, but it pretty much cost them the game because they would come back, they'll put together a rally, but that one bad call by the Empire really cost them. Yeah. So while the Empire, I guess in Wrigley Field, since it's an old stadium, the umpires they depart, they go through the visitors' dugout, and as they're walking by, Xander Bogaerts, Jose Iglesias, and the manager were going off, and people with security had to stop them. They were spitting on them, supposedly. People were saying,
"Oh wow,
I don't think they
Yeah.
spit on, but they definitely were going crazy on them.
Mm.
And so those two, I mean, 1 game suspension, not a big deal. But then the Padres manager just announced that he's retiring also, so they got to go find a manager. I think, look, aside from the Mets, Luis Duran, and no, I'm not gonna hate on the Mets, right? They didn't make it. We all know that it was a disappointing season. But I think it was just as disappointing for the Phillies and it seemed like the Padres, especially the Padres, who went all out. They completely went all out during
Right.
the trade deadline. I mean, they acquired Mason Miller, a whole bunch of guys. They traded like a lot of their top prospects to get bounced so early by the Cubs.
Mm.
I think
it's
the
unfortunate.
Phillies are the biggest disappointment out of everybody.
Yeah, the
And
way
what
they
about the
lost.
Braves? They didn't make at all.
Yeah, but they were out of it pretty much the whole year. The Mets, it went down to the last game. So
So,
yeah.
I blame Mendoza for that game. He should have kept the pitcher in more longer.
All right. What you think is happening with Edwin Diaz, right? Is that something you think the Yankees should entertain if he opts out, if he's out there?
Maybe.
Where would we put Edwin Diaz? Because he'd probably want to be a closer, wouldn't you think?
But we have Bednar. I don't think we need him.
I mean, if he wants to come over here and be an 8th inning setup guy,
no,
sure,
I mean,
but it's not as much money.
If you were to sign Edwin Diaz, even though I'm not saying they should, but if it was to happen, he's the closer and you got to move Bednar down.
Oh, okay.
That's what I think will happen. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Edwin Diaz. He's good, but I think he I don't know. Maybe it's just I've seen him blow too many games for me to really trust the dude.
Well, if he's not the closer, then you wouldn't have to worry about that.
You have no idea. And I think the last World when he towards Achilles, I think the baseball classic, he's not though, and with Diaz of old.
Yeah, he's not.
Well, he's older.
Yeah.
That's age getting time and age gets everybody.
Yeah.
Bronx Bomber says he's been waiting for. Can you guys see the chat? I put up you can maximize that one view that shows all of us.
Oh, okay. I see the chat though in that little box.
Yes. I've been waiting. Bronx Bomber says I've been waiting to hear Howard Steinbrenner talk, but not a peep. I think they're gonna probably wait till the World Series is over to really Right now they're doing damage control and they talking. The PR department is working overtime, man, because they gotta save face somehow.
Right.
Well, remember, after the World Series is over, all teams have 5 days to negotiate with their own
qualifying offers
and to offer a qualifying offer.
Yep.
I gotta go now. Let somebody else.
All right, man. Take care, man.
Good meeting you, man.
Good meeting you too.
Yep.
I pray for Mets Yankees World Series.
That would be sweet, man. That would be sweet.
I don't have to go across. I don't have to go far away.
Not this year.
I'm tired of hearing my brothers tell me, "Oh, what happened to the Mets?" They all Yankees fans.
You're a brave man.
I don't hate the Mets, man, but I felt bad for you guys. I really did.
You still wearing Mets gear, man. You're a brave dude, man.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna take it off. I haven't worn this since
no, you should wear that on Thanksgiving.
I should. No, I got all my brothers, and he's gonna make fun of me.
All right, man.
No
Take
way.
care, brother.
I'll see you.
See you, Luis.
Yep. All right, let me do this here.
What else do you want to talk about?
Is anybody else gonna join?
No, that's all right. What do you guys want to talk about, man?
Wants to join your show, Jason.
It's all right, man. I think that the more people that join, the more harder it is to.
The crazier
to
it
manage.
I'm putting my own list together for the Rule 5 draft.
For the Rule 5 draft?
Yeah.
I think I don't care, man. To be honest, I'll trade all of these guys. I'm at that point, guys. I'm not gonna lie to you, where I would trade everybody. Obviously you can't do that, but I would trade everybody. when I say that, I mean that everybody, to me, there is nobody not untouchable. You know,
Nobody's untouchable. No,
nobody's untouchable.
I
Even a
think
guy like
yeah, I actually agree with you in somewhat. I think a guy like ever since Volpe didn't pan out, and Volpe was the one untouchable they had.
Mhm.
Imagine what they could have gotten for Volpe if at his height if they signed a guy like Seager.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Series in 2019.
Yeah. Even like a guy like Elmer Cruz,
Cruz.
I think he's a fantastic pitcher, but I mean, like where do we put him, right?
He's a
You
star.
think
He's going to be a starting pitcher.
no, I get it, but I mean, we have so many pitchers, guys.
Yeah, we do.
Like, how do you fit him in there? You know?
Well, you could trade Louis Hill.
That's what I'm saying. You got to trade somebody, and that's where I go back to where everybody's tradable. Like I honestly look, Luis Hill, Will Warren, Luis Hill, Will Warren, and Clark Schmidt, all guys that I'd be shopping them around. I'd see what I can get from them.
I agree with you. I think Louis Hill could be traded this year. I think now is actually he's at top value right now. Well, he was top value last year after he won the Rookie of the Year, but he still has a lot of value. Why don't you go out and get someone you really need? I mean, who would you like in a trade if you were to trade Louis Hill? Who would you like back?
Who would I like back?
Yeah.
It depends. I feel like we've already missed that window where we could have got the most value for him, right?
Last year we could have had the most value. Last offseason,
his value has dropped after that postseason performance. I mean, he didn't do terrible. I mean, he didn't stay in the game long either, but his value has dropped, unfortunately.
So who do you think he can be traded for?
I think
yeah, it depends on the team.
Yeah, it depends on the team, and I don't think a 1-for-1 thing is not something I would try to do.
Not a 1-for-1. I'm talking about who can you package him for? Another pitcher, a shortstop.
Mm-hmm. I think I'd shop around. I'd see if the A's are interested. I see if the Angels are interested. I'd tell them, hey, Luis Hill, Will Warren, Anthony Volpe.
Like a guy like Zach Neto.
Yeah, for a guy like Zach Neto or Jacob Wilson,
I would love Jacob Wilson, but Jacob Wilson, I don't think the A's are going to trade Jacob Wilson.
I don't think that, but for the right amount, we didn't think that they would trade Mason Miller.
Yeah, everybody has a price.
You know,
so.
That's what I'm saying. There's a price on everybody. Yeah. Nobody thought that Mason Miller was really going to be traded like that. But if you offer, the thing is, you gotta make it worth it. And I think that a guy like that is worth giving them.
Jacob Wilson.
Would you give? All right, let me ask you this: would you give up? Right, because they're gonna want. They probably want, like, I don't know if Luis Hill, maybe that doesn't get it. Would you give up Spencer Jones and Elmer Cruz? Right? Wasn't it Elmer Rodriguez Cruz?
Yeah.
Or you can call him ERC.
ERC, would you give up those two for Jacob Wilson?
Well,
if that's all they wanted, I'd do it.
Put it this way: if you get Jacob Wilson, what do you do with Lombard?
Lombard, don't worry about it. Lombard is years away, guys. He is not going to show up spring training and be named the starting.
And Spencer Jones for Jacob Wilson. I would have to think about that.
That's what I'm saying.
If it takes those two, probably yes. Yeah. But I would be shopping Volpe after that trade.
Yeah, but I mean, at that point, then you gotta maybe you throw Volpe to sweeten the deal. Tell them, hey, we got a major league shortstop for you.
If I add Volpe to that deal, I'm doing it. Maybe,
But if
maybe
it was just
they give you a compensation pick as well as Jacob Wilson.
if it was just those two players, heck yeah, I would do it. But I mean, if they wanted to take Volpe too, go ahead, take him. But I'm not going to stop them. So you want a bag of baseballs?
Well, they would
Take
want someone to replace the shortstop they lost.
And while Wise says thoughts on Mason Wynn.
Cardinals aren't getting. I'm in St. Louis. Cardinals aren't getting rid of Mason Wynn.
I don't know.
You'd have to give up a lot for Mason Wynn.
I don't know much about him. I'm not familiar with a lot of National League.
He's a better player than Volpe. I'll tell you that. His bat could use some work, but defensively he's good. But you'd have to. Cardinals would ask for a king's ransom for him because I think they just signed him to a pretty big contract too, so they're committed to him.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull up his stats, but it's not working. So, yeah, I don't think he would be nice though. I like that. When we played them too during the season, he had some good games there. It all depends. I think we gotta find a way to do something. We got to do something in terms of the shortstop position. But and then against Caballero, but I don't think Caballero is really the guy. You know.
Yeah, he's a good backup.
Caballero is more of a piece to fill in rather than a permanent piece, temporary piece.
Aiden, Eli says, whoever wants Kyle Tucker, you're a moron. He's a DH in 2 years while Bellinger is still in right field. Yeah, and you know, too, Eli, when you look at the numbers, it's almost identical. You know, Kyle Tucker and Cody Bellinger is almost identical.
As I said before, I would just re-sign Bellinger.
Yeah, I think that's the best bet. It's not even worth the money. The kind of money that Kyle Tucker is going to be asking for. Don't get me wrong, he's a good player, but
I think Bellinger is getting a $200 million contract.
200 million, how many years?
Probably 7 or 8.
Yeah,
7 or 8 years.
7 or 8. I wouldn't sign him to 7 or 8, but Boris is going to want 7 or 8 for sure.
What 7 or 8 years? But when you think 200 mil for 7 years, that's almost 30 million.
That's almost 30 million.
Yeah, that's a lot,
and
man.
In this market, having a player like that for less than $30 million is probably a good deal. Maybe have an opt out.
He's gonna have a market though. The Mets would pay for it. Dodgers, Padres. So
my thing with Cody Bellinger,
win no matter where he goes,
is that his numbers in the postseason are not really.
They're not good. No,
they're not good. And that bothers me. It really does.
Yep. You see, I wouldn't be surprised if Jason Dominguez gets traded.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if all these guys get traded. I think that's the way to go. I'll be honest. For the right players, I think you can get a lot for these guys. And if you're not going to play them, all we're doing right now is destroying their value, like absolutely obliterating Dominguez's value. The fact that he didn't play the whole postseason till the end, that one at bat, we obliterated whatever value he had. You know,
and I don't understand why he never played one game. He never started one game, especially after the first game where Grisham had done nothing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Grisham didn't do anything the whole series, guys.
Yes, he did nothing. Why not give Dominguez a full game to see what he has in the playoffs?
Yeah, well, Dominguez is supposedly gonna play in the Dominican League over the winter, and that's good because not only hopefully he can get more reps at left field, hopefully bat it from the right side, but also if he plays well, his value, you know, will go up. The same way if I don't know who all is getting an invite to the Arizona Fall League. I got to look that up.
But I don't think they announced it yet.
I think little by little, I've been seeing some announcements, not from the Yankees, but other teams. So, and that's another place where some of these guys, right, some of these prospects can really, really like up their value. Look at Caleb Durban. Caleb Durban actually panned out though. in hindsight, I was happy that we traded him for Devin Williams. But if I could take that one trade back, I would.
Yeah,
I thought I never really wanted to trade Caleb Durbin. I thought I liked the idea of having a young infielder on the cheap for 6 years. Let's say this: if you don't make that trade, if you keep Williams, do you make the McMahon trade? Do you do something different for your closer?
What do you mean? If we had Caleb Durbin?
We had Caleb Durbin and we did not have Williams last year. How different do you think the team would be?
Well,
I don't think we get McMahon.
It depends on it. Assuming that he's gonna perform like he did with the Brewers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then there would be no point. We wouldn't need anybody else. That it'll be like, okay, you know, we're good. He's the third baseman or the second baseman, however they were gonna put it. It really wouldn't be an issue. We wouldn't even need McMahon. So, yeah. So before I let you guys go, though, all right, what do you think is the biggest needs on this team right now? Like
contact bat, maybe 2 contact bats.
Contact bat, but where are you gonna put him though? That's what I'm saying. Like you talking about contact bat? So what? First base? You talking about maybe moving Rice
for first base? Depending on what you do with Rice, you can put Rice back at catcher, and you might need one more outfielder, a contact back for outfield, because you're missing both. You need now to get an outfielder because Bellinger and Grisham are free agents. So let's assume you sign Bellinger and Grisham walks. That's one of them. But I have a feeling the Yankees are going to make multiple trades.
No, I think you need 2 more plus Grisham. That's 3. This lineup, make no mistake about it, man. This lineup, they're not good, guys. We're home run or nothing. I mean, let's face it.
I don't know who thought of the idea of home run or nothing as a good thing, but it doesn't work. If you remember the 98 team, none of those guys hit 30 home runs, and all of those guys had a 290 average.
But in 98, here's the thing, man, and I'm gonna bring it back to Eric Chavez, the former Met coach, Met hitting coach, right? What he said in 98, man, guys throwing 92, 93, that was like top speeds, top velocity. These pitchers have evolved. I'm telling you, man. I don't know if you've been watching the players. When you see Tarek Skubal, his last pitch, his 99th pitch of the game, he threw it 101, 102 miles an hour.
Yeah, I know. Pitchers nowadays are pitching much faster.
Yeah, it's and the stuff is so nasty in terms of the way they're spinning these balls. Hitting has gotten so hard that if you have that approach, that home run or nothing approach, and this is what Eric Chavez was saying on Foul Territory. He was saying you're not going to do good. That's why you see teams like the Brewers and the Blue Jays, the teams that are just putting the ball in play, those are the teams that are doing good.
Well, that's what the Yankees need. The Yankees need to focus on players that can hit for contact instead of power.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, Jonathan, is that in order to get that, man, a lot of these guys will have to go. That's what I keep saying. Like,
well, then they go.
And then a guy like Spencer Jones doesn't fit that narrative.
Well, Spencer Jones is not, in my book, Spencer Jones is not an untradeable player. I would trade him. I would have traded him for, I think they were talking about a deal in the past spring training for Paul Skeens. I would trade him in a Paul Skeens package.
No. What about
you?
We
don't know if he's going to be available. I would hope.
Of course, he's not going to be available now. This was talking about. This was talked about during the trade deadline.
Look, man. In order to get Paul Skeens, I don't think the Yankees have enough.
No,
if he was to be available, every team who has way better farm systems than us are gonna be in on him. And
Yeah, we probably don't have enough to get him anyway.
I think
Yeah.
what about Josh Naylor for first base?
I'd
be okay with it.
Maybe on a short-term deal, but not on a deal longer than 3 years.
My thing is that then it puts you in a spot with Ben Rice again. Look, I love Ben Rice.
Yep.
I don't want him to be my catcher. I love the dude. I do, but we need a better catcher. Man. He cannot throw people out. He's not good.
Well, here's another problem. We traded our best catcher in the trade deadline. We traded him. The catcher that we had just traded, we could have caught next year. He could have been our starting catcher next year, and we traded him.
Yeah, what's his name again? I'm trying to remember his name. I know you're talking about. He was killing in AAA.
Yeah, it was a Spanish guy.
Yeah,
starting with an M. What was his name?
Was it M? I don't know. I can't remember, but yeah, I know what you're talking about. He played third base and catcher, and we were talking about bringing him up for third base. I can't remember his name. I'm drawing a blank, but yeah.
Rafael Flores. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you broke up a little bit. I heard you. NYY just says Austin Wells out.
Rafael Flores.
Wells's arm is not as bad. It's not as bad as Ben Rice.
Yeah, Ben Rice. That's a weakness in his game. He can't throw anybody out.
I'm not sure if you can hear me anymore.
No, we hear you. I hear you.
The catcher's name was Rafael Flores.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he got traded.
Yeah, he was the next catcher. He was supposed to be a good contact bat and good defense.
Well, look, I don't think the Yankees are going to move on from Austin Wells. I think they should go get a right-handed bat, a right-handed catcher to back him up. And then it puts you in a spot with it puts you in a bad spot with what's his name, with Ben Rice. Because I go out there and get like a JT Realmuto or somebody like that, even though I don't think the Phillies are going to want to part ways with him.
No, Phillies wouldn't do a trade like that.
No, I think he's going to be a free agent.
Well, then if he's a free agent, then I try to get him for a year or two.
See, this is why I hate. My heart weeps for Ben Rice, because Stanton's in the way. I mean, I'm not trying to knock Stanton. He's been great.
Mm-hmm.
But, man, like, Ben Rice is just made for DH.
Yeah, he is.
He just is, and he's just stuck. That's why, like, he's a good trade piece, because there's nowhere to put Ben Rice. If you do get a first baseman, I hate it, because I love his bat.
Anyway.
Yeah. So this is he's a free agent. I don't know if you can see this right here, but
I bet it's hard to see it, Chloe, but
yeah, he's a free agent, and then his hold on, his market value projected is like 2 years, $13 million per. That's not bad.
That's not bad for a short-term player.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The Yankees got many catchers in their system, and they traded a lot of catchers. I think they traded 5 catchers in the last 2 years.
And my YJ says he's getting old. He is, but we need a right-handed. I think a right-handed catcher, so you can offset it.
If you sign them for 2 years, that's not a big deal. Maybe 1 year and an option.
Yeah, we never had a leadoff. Yeah, and look, I mean, we just need something better, man. We can't. The reason why, and I'll get your final thoughts, and then we'll wrap this up. But the reason why we lost this year, right? The reason why we got embarrassed by the Blue Jays. First of all, the pitching wasn't as good as we thought, right? in terms of Max Fried and these guys. Like they got rocked. Let's be honest. But besides that, though, the hitting wasn't there. Even if the pitching was good, we weren't going to win because the hitting didn't show up either. When 1 through 5, when only Judge was the only person who showed up. Judge and I'd say maybe McMahon. Besides that, we had some very, very poor performances, man, and the Yankees just stuck with it the whole way through.
Another problem with the lineup is they swung a lot, very often. They swung at the first pitch, and they didn't make the pitcher work. There was a couple innings there where the pitchers pitched less than 10 pitches. That's not how you win. The Yankees used to kill Pedro by making him pitch 100 or 110 pitches after 5 innings.
Nope.
I would like to go back to that. Make the pitcher work. Don't swing at bad pitches, and try to get to the bullpen.
Yeah. What about you, Elements Hearts? Your final thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, just echo what Jonathan said. Just it's that approach to at bats, man. Especially in the playoffs, you got to be like the Blue Jays were, man. Just be dogs up there. I mean, those at bats by Grisham and Wells, man, those were killers. Oh,
yeah.
Oh, so, in the last game.
Yeah, from the last game especially. Just
and Volpe too.
Volpe too, man. It's like, how do you at least not foul a ball off? Can you foul a ball, please?
I mean, he might as well have went up there with no bat.
Right.
That is one reason why I would move on from Volpe. I'm sorry. I have had 3 years to see Volpe, and every year he's diminished. He's not getting better. He's getting worse every year.
Yeah. Yeah, he's getting worse, and I'll be honest. I don't see how.
Boys and say bye.
I don't see how he can. Even look, I think that he can have a future, right, and have and be a big leaguer for longer than he has, but I just don't think he could do it with the Yankees, man. I think the fan base is already he's already approaching Joey Gallo territory where we just can't stand him, you know.
Yeah.
Where we don't want to see him no more.
Or Aaron Hicks.
Aaron Hicks, yeah. He has to go, man, before it really starts eating at him, and then you really destroy the kid. I think he could still figure it out. But the fact that they won't send him to AAA to figure it out, they're just gonna keep shoving him down our throats.
And that's one thing the Yankees missed doing. They never sent him to AAA for a month just to figure it out, clear his head, find out what's wrong. And that's one thing that kills his career with the Yankees. The Yankees pushed him too much. They put too much faith in this kid. They shove it in the fans' face. And when he doesn't perform, the fans just toss him aside like he's yesterday's garbage.
Yeah. But anyway, guys, I appreciate you guys joining, man. I'm going to try to do now in the off season more open panels and stuff.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys.
I'll be on the lookout. I'm always available in the evenings for open panels.
Yeah, definitely, man. I appreciate and I value you guys' takes. You guys made some good takes today. And yeah, let's go Yankees. I mean, look, it's the off season. Even though it's boring, and I'm not gonna lie, guys. I'm still down about the season.
Oh yeah, that hurt when we lost.
Well, we're gonna be down until the winter meetings start. Really, that's when the Rule 5 draft happens. That's when more free agency starts. So until the Yankees make a big free agency signing or make a big trade, we're all gonna feel the loss of this year.
Yeah, but I'm still down. But you know, it is what it is. We'll get past that. I just hope that like me personally, I'm not letting the Yankees off the hook. I'm gonna still support my team, but they need to do right by the fans and do right by that interlocking NY. I mean, enough is enough, man. We've been embarrassed long enough. We're the butt of every joke in MLB and everywhere, man. We're being kicked while we're down. Enough is enough. Let's be the Yankees again.
What Jr. is doing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Let's be the Yankees again. But it takes the Yankees to remember who they are and make the moves that are necessary to do. But you guys have any last words before we wrap this up? I know I said that already, but
Well, the Yankees. Let's just say the Yankees need to make the right moves, be smart, protect the right players in the Rule 5 draft, and make smart trades. That's what we want. Make smart trades, build a better team, and focus on guys who can get on base, not just hit home runs.
you good?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it just comes down to can they get over their pride? Like, get rid of Volpe, please. You know, at least just do that at least for me. The fans are screaming for it, and that'll go a long way for me. But make some trades too, because I think we just got so much surplus. And Jason, thank you for doing the open panel. It's
Thank you.
good to finally talk with you with my voice and not just my words in the chat. So thanks.
Yeah, hopefully next time we can see your face too, man.
I know, man. My camera's kind of broken on the laptop.
No, you're good. It's all right. Yep. I appreciate you guys. Yeah, I'm gonna do a lot more. And we'll hope it's gonna get better too. I'm still learning the system, but besides that, man, I appreciate you guys for joining. Everybody in the chat, appreciate it. Don't forget to like the stream if you haven't, subscribe if you haven't, and stay tuned for more streams and more Yankee news. I appreciate you guys. Have a blessed one. Have a great week. Be safe.